Welcome everyone to the Island Life Podcast, where we journey onto the island of discovery to relive some of the best and worst moments of Survivor. My name is Will, an experienced Survivor fan, 47 seasons deep, and I will be your guide. And joining us on this adventure is gonna be our rising Survivor fan with 10 seasons under her belt. And
Hello, everybody. We are back.
that's right, and probably only one more week to do without Survivor F. Like one more tops. I'm starting to miss the guy.
I know. I miss our star. Now that we lost a star, hopefully we'll gain our star back.
I know. This is an appropriate time to point out that your experienced Survivor fan was proven 100% correct, like thrice over. I sucked
were
in my pride and moved off of Star at the right moment. If I had waited one more week, it would have been all over for me.
I,
Uh,
I was hoping things would be different. I was hoping I could prove you wrong.
and not only that, as I expected, the group in the just not in the majority alliance could not pull themselves together, could not muster up the bravery, and they folded like a house of cards. Disastrous.
Yeah, I thought that maybe they would go for drawing rocks, but I didn't think they would just collapse so fast. Like this plan, it took longer to come up than it did just fall apart. It was just bad. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of them, they have this core 4 going on, and then the other 4 are just like, we're just kinda chilling and hopefully to live to another day, but let's try to start a revolution," as stars say, and unfortunately, it didn't work well. I just it stinks because I think Kamilla is kinda, like, wishy-washy a little bit, but also wanted to start something, and then there's Mitch who's, like, confused and don't know what to do, and then there's just Star and Mary holding on to dear life, like, "Come on, guys, let's do something," but, it was bad.
Yeah, really the main attraction here is what you pointed out, the failed revolution. The idea that the 4 people on the outs would join together without a majority, but force a tie, and then bank on the fact that they have nothing to lose, whereas the actual alliance, like, they feel like they're in a position to win. They don't want their season to end with random rock draw, and so one of them would flip, and then all 4 of them survive, one of them goes home. That was, like, the idea proposed. And in retrospect, I don't think it even came close. Like, maybe as the audience, we thought we were building to that, but I don't think maybe, like, an afternoon passed where that was the plan,
Yeah, you didn't
but
even think it
otherwise, no.
was a chance that it would've worked.
Yeah, let's break so breaking it down one piece at a time. In a world where they actually all agreed and all did it, and it happened, and they wanted to target Joe, so let's just say Joe was available to target. He didn't win immunity, and anybody else won immunity. And for the 4 of them, Mitch, Star, Mary, and Kamilla all vote for Joe. It seems like they were gonna target Star in the end, so the other 4 vote for Star. And there's a revote, and nobody changes their mind, so now it's a deadlock tie between Star and Joe. Do you have any feelings on how that would go? So as a reminder, deadlock tie, so back-to-back ties. Now everybody other than the people that got votes discuss, like, they debate with each other, trying to come to and I believe it actually is a unanimous decision. Like, they have to all actually, no, they don't need unanimous. I think they just need one to flip in this
Just
case.
one person.
Lately, we've been seeing these potential ties where there's only, like, 3 people voting, so that's where it feels unanimous. Or like Cedric, it was only hh him. So, uh,
Cedric.
so So they would only need one person.
I just feel like it's hard because if you're not part of like, let's say you're the people that are, like, picking this tie, by falling and, like, going for the other side, you're kinda showing that you're not that strong of an ally if you're just gonna crumble down for it. But then by not crumbling, are you, like, not being a team player? And if we draw rocks and then one of my members get off, am I gonna be the one paying for it the next day? Because obviously I'm not with them. I rather draw rocks than pick my people that I'm not that close with. Like, I feel like in the minority vote, I is more easy for them to crumble and like just vote for like the other like the people with the majority people with the strong guys versus the strong team. They would be very strong. Like that's what I would think. So that's why when they said like going for rock draw, I just didn't or like not draw rock draw, going for a tie and that they will pick the other one. I just didn't think that it would work. I feel like they would go for like, you know what? We are strong 4. I'd rather draw rocks than do this versus the other 4 would probably be like, you know what? I'll do it, you know? I just feel like I didn't think they had a strong plan in the first place. But I hate this. I hate being the one needing to be pulled or like that one person needing to be pulled to pick the other, you know? I hate it. What do you think?
It is tricky. In my hypothetical, it would be Eva, Shauhin, and Kyle. Would any of them decide to publicly go against their allies
Absolutely
in
not.
in order to guarantee safety? And this would take the form of voting out Joe. This would mean like if it was Shauhin, that would mean Shauhin said, "I'm sorry, I need to protect myself." And now it's Joe voted out, Shauhin being a traitor to Eva and to Kyle. But he's not an enemy to the other 4, to Mitch, Star, Kamilla, and
But the other 4 have no
Mary.
connection with him. Beside I highly doubt by voting one time with them would change anything. I feel like that would be very naive to think that. So, because you forced that person in a corner to do that. And now
Of
they're
course,
stuck. Like,
yeah.
as the person, like, in Shaheen's place, Shaheen is now, like he has broken his alliance, and he's with this group of people that are stragglers and probably don't even see him as a true alliance, because you wouldn't have made this decision until you're backed into a corner. So that's not really we don't have a connection here. You're just where you were forced to in this. If anything, Shaheen's gonna be voted out next episode, if that hypothetical happened.
By the way, I fact checked myself as a good uh host would do,
Oh, I like it.
and I actually was right the first time. So the non-tied contestants must then come to a unanimous decision about you.
Oh.
And the reason I got confused is that it's not often at all that there's like a big tie. Like it's much more common. It's like a 2 versus 2.
Mhm.
And in that case, the 2 of them are safe because they're the ones getting voted for. So it ends up being only two people arguing with each other, and they're trying to convince the other. But that they need to be unanimous, but it never looks that way because it's just 2 people. So actually, I wonder. I don't. This might be something to go ask our survivor expert. The last time there was a tie between more than 4 voters,
That's
like a
hard.
6 or 8 or 10, whatever.
Do they have, like, a timer when it comes to, like, discussion and stuff or no timer?
Jeff Probst is the timer. He will decide.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Because 'Cause I'm
So
like,
there's a
how long are you gonna debate for? Because a majority is hard.
yeah, I wonder. That's also, I mean, that's another go. I think that's why the going to rocks is so scary because getting unanimous itself is hard, which makes rocks likely. So let's rewind a bit. So now this is a new scenario. It's now 6 people, so it would be and also officially the people who are voted for are supposed to stay quiet. Like they're not part of this. But I mean, Jeff Probst can decide where he can enforce whatever he wants to enforce. So that would be Kamilla, Mitch, and Star, or not Star, Mary, all trying to arguing with Kyle, Eva, and Shauhin. I feel like it's more likely. I mean, the trouble is there's not a lot of time between, because remember, there's gonna be in that scenario. There's 2 votes. There's the first vote, which is a tie, and then the second vote, which is to see if it's gonna be a tie again. There's
Mhm.
not really any time to talk in between those 2. But if they're sharp and they all seem very survivor savvy in terms of the rules, they know that if nobody flips right now, it's gonna go to that, like, discussion of potential rock draw. So, somebody might flip at that point, which would be ideal, then we avoid all this. But, like, it's definitely not gonna be Eva, like, Eva will not vote. So it's either so for the outcasts to win this, it either Shauhin or Kyle has to change their mind. Either it probably, to be honest, it probably has to be at that in between vote. If not, then in the discussion, Eva will never ever ever vote Joe.
No, for sure.
Now in this case, if they had agreed to vote Shauhin instead, maybe that could have had potential, or Kyle even.
I don't know. I think they would start strong with that too. I just feel like they are truly for I mean, I think Joe and Eva truly thinks that these 4 are strong. Now, whether it be Shauhin might be not thinking it, I don't know, because I feel like Shauhin isn't like, he trusts, but he also is in the game, he's trying to win too. And Kyle. I feel like Kyle and Shauhin has, like I still think there's like, I would say, like, after this episode, it's like, oh, easily, like, Mary might be next, like, easily, is it Mitch? But I also feel like something can change, like, maybe Shauhin will do something, like, maybe it's not as easy as we think it is of this, like, 6 going into it. Because I feel like in this episode, you see that with Eva, it's just like, "I think this is easy," like, I think, in the next couple of tribals, I'm not worried. I'm a little worried for her that this is a potential, like, they could blindside her. There could be a blindside for Eva. Do you think that? Like, do you think that there is no blindside? Like, can you imagine that nobody has talked about Eva at all in regards to her vote? Her idol, non-existent. Her extra thing, no one's talking about it. I'm starting to forget, like, did she use it without us knowing?
You
I am so confused right now.
is because well, I think there have been no serious plans to target her, even if people have, like, mentioned it. There haven't been serious, so therefore it hasn't aired. But I'm like, it's a little surprising, but also, like, it's scary to vote for her, because if she actually uses that idol, then it's gonna be one of us.
Hmm.
Too many people. And think about the last several votes, it has not really come down to targeting one person in that group and one person out of it. A lot of these have been between 2 people not in that alliance anyway, which means, like, no one's been brave enough to target any of them, let alone the person who has the immunity idol.
Yeah, I feel like the idea of, like, quote unquote flushing the idol isn't as like a is it not popular because it's so little people now, or is it just not a thing anymore?
Well, you need enough votes to actually do that, though.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
to f- so usually, if you want to flush an idol, you have enough votes where you can vote for 2 people, so that even if they use the idol, it's fine because the remaining votes will be for somebody else. But, like, in this case, let's say the four outcasts were on the same page. They trust each other. If all 4 of them vote for Eva and she uses her idol, then all their votes are negated and one of them's going home. if they do like 3 votes for Eva and 1 vote for Shauhin, they lose anyway because the other 4 are all voting for somebody. So those 4 are gonna win in that case. So
Yeah.
they don't have enough people to split the vote properly. Whereas if like they thought Star had an idol, actually, you know what? What played out tonight? So we I'm not sure, I guess we haven't been clear here. The group of 4 could not come to the outcast 4 could not trust each other in the end. They could not muster any plan, and in the end, they had to eat each other. So which took basically Star and Mary have to not they're not lying to each other, but they are going against each other. They admit like we have no choice but to vote for each other. And ultimately we get 5 votes for Star and 3 votes for Mary. So ultimately they did split the votes and they got Mitch and notice they got Mitch and Kamilla uh and Star, so 3 of the outcasts to be the ones that vote for Mary, and then the rest of them all voted for Star. So they split the votes, but that group did not actually have to split their own votes. It's actually very, very clean and efficient. Very well done by the group of 4, the actual alliance.
Yeah,
But
it
that's how
was
you
done
do it.
very
So
well by them.
if Star had well, if she had an idol or used her shot in the dark and hit, then no harm done. The Mary goes home, which they were fine with too. Uh, speaking of Star, the last like 5 episodes has been a joy. But what happened with the shot in the dark? Like she literally is told you should play it.
She
An
don't
odd
believe
move
it.
by Mitch, by the way. And
And she called
it
Mitch out too.
it really it more felt like that's not just not how she rolls is how it came across.
I
It
it
was rather weird.
it felt like it was, like, a religious moment for I was like, "Are you is this, like, some sort of religious distaste for the shot in the dark? Like, is it me?" Like, it w I feel like if I'm pushed in the corner, I'm gonna use it as much of a hater I am for it, but if it's either do or die, it's do it tonight, you know? But it's funny 'cause, I think even Jeff was like, "So, like, what are your thoughts about this? Like, are you gonna do it?" And she's like, "I don't know, but" and also it's like, she's, like, not gonna talk to people because that's just paranoia or, like, I don't wanna do any paranoia, but it's also like, "But Star, if you're not talking to people, you're not playing Survivor. You can't survive just hanging out in the bed for the camp," you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I felt like Star in the past 3 episodes have been just, like, not there, non-existent, unfortunately. Like, she's got great, like, bangers, like, what she says and what she does, like, she's hilarious, and I come to really like her, but Star, what are you doing? What's happening? Actually, what are you doing? Just period. What are you doing? I'm not saying, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" It's just, "What are you doing? What have you been doing?" Besides
I
doing
don't
great like, her
I
rapping was amazing.
don't know. That came out of nowhere. I was very I mean, because I
The
didn't quite catch it
editors
because so
love
at
it.
the at the challenge, they like all of them together like because for some reason Jeff's like, let's start chanting fried chicken and waffles for some. I don't know what Jeff was doing either. But they actually all get into it and they're all like chanting and singing. But looking back on it, Star was also like rapping, like she was doing like the beatboxing, like
Oh,
background
amazing.
music to. And then of
Amazing.
course, twice in the episode later, like she will start rapping, which is great. But it it did feel like she ultimately like checked out. And I mean her position was horrible. Like things got worse and worse and worse for her. We saw the other episode. She is she was bringing plans, but no one was being receptive. She even went in this episode went to Mitch, and Mitch was like, "If it was anyone else, I'd do the plan, but it's coming from Star, so you can't take that seriously."
Yeah,
And
it's unfortunate, and that's, like, prime example of they did not make any good connections, they're not strong as the outcasts, like, if the outcasts were strong, they could make moves, this could happen, they could be scary, but they're not even scary. Like they're not. And even the people within themselves don't want to work with one another. So how are they going to be able to make moves? How is the revolution going to start? And that I feel like and then when Mitch was just like, I would use your shot in the dark if I was you. That and then she straight up don't even use it. Which I don't know. I think Star might just been like, hey, 1 out of 6 chance, who cares? You know, if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna use my vote for something. But still, Star, it's interesting. I don't get the
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah, it's because Star's enjoyable. I I don't wanna believe this is the case. It it was giving vibes of, like, I'm kinda over this, and if I stay, then I'll stay, but if I go, I'll go. No need to, like, complicate things with the potential shot in the dark getting hit.
Yeah, she
Uh,
was just over it.
and that's a little unfortunate because like, you never wanna see that. You wanna see people, like, playing to the end, but we just said, like, she was playing, like, a little bit, but, like, it goes waning less and less and less, and then by the very end.
Yeah. It's also hard to play when nobody wants to play with you. So, like, the only person that was willing to play with her truthfully is Mary, but Mary's also in the bottom. And, Mary is put into a weird predicament because she was, like, this weirdly enough, was able to, like, keep up with David and in a way, as they kinda hinted as Joe kinda hinted, like, caused the demise of David, kind of. And now she's, like, barely holding on now. And I don't know, I just think it's kind of interesting to see that change of dynamic from this episode to 2 episodes ago when, she was like, "I think Kamilla should leave." Camilla should I don't really like what's going on with Kamilla and Shauhin and all that stuff, and then now she's, like, just trying to pull anything they could, and then I feel like that moment of her saying Kyle is when everything just what little hope they had to cause a revolution was gone. Camilla was like, "Mm-mm, not my Kyle, mm-mm."
Yeah, Camilla's an interesting case too. Like,
Yes.
it's you could tell she's getting a little restless, but she's sticking by the plan A. The plan A is that, uh, Kyle will have her back and she'll have his back, and that has continued and paid off, like, that has been a useful alliance here. Uh, but I do wonder, like, if I wonder if they've discussed, like, how their plan ends, like, how they get to the end. Even if they're lying to each other, but, like, what have they told each other? Or have they both been operating like, "Oh, we'll take it one day at a time." 'Cause
I don't know. I just been assuming they are gonna be like, "Hey, we're just gonna be us 2, Us 2 make it to the end. That's all that matters. Doesn't other people don't care." That's what I thought that they were going for.
'Cause that's easy to say if you're Kyle, but that's hard to accept when you're
Oh, no, for sure.
because Kyle could just he has the ability to change his mind whenever he wants, and even if Camilla's mad that and refuses to vote for him as a winner, well, that's only one person.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if Kyle does the same thing, if at some point it is portrayed as if he's betraying his group to go with Camilla, well, then he's made 3 people upset, in addition to David, who's already on the jury.
Uh, it's rough. I feel like Camilla, she is my winner pick, but I am worried for her as she is holding on to Kyle, and that's it. All the things she's done is like, again, not much. And nothing that was used, nothing that Kyle has told her has been used for anything. Like Eva's, like Bennett, like additional vote wasn't really talked about. Oh no, she doesn't have initial voice. She has a power to just leave, right? That was her thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, she
Safety
didn't even
without
safety
power.
without power. So like that wasn't talked about, like, or maybe not cared about. They weren't scared of it. I just feel like Camilla hasn't like she's made cool move like her and Kyle, like this as a duo is really cool, especially in the beginning. Especially when they were able to take out Thomas. That was very cool. and then pretending to not work together. But in the end, am I gonna get that moment of Sue being like, "I'm 50 something. I lied about my age," and it's like, "Oh, okay, good for you." Like, I feel like is that's gonna be like, "Oh, okay, cool. You guys been tight? That's nice. You hit it? Cool. What else have you done?" You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say Camilla has done so far that is like, if you were writing her resume, what is her resume right now? What is one thing?
Right now, all she has is she was able to have a double agent at her disposal in Kyle. Like she has to spin it as I voted correctly every single time because I was able to leverage my secret number one being a spy in every potential group and alliance that's ever happened in the whole game. And that allowed me to know when like where to bob and weave, when to make a move and when not to make a move. Um, but that only
Okay.
works if Kyle isn't sitting next to her. Because if
Yeah.
Kyle's sitting next to her, he's gonna say, "That's all true, but guess who actually did the work and all that? Like that was me." And just like I was a spy for her, she was a spy for me, and she's gonna get overshadowed if Kyle is sitting with her at the end.
Yeah. So, and ultimately, she's gonna have to take Kyle down or Kyle has to take her down, I feel like. And
I
actually,
don't. Th- I don't
I
think
thought
Kyle
that
needs to take her down.
you
Kyle
don't think so? Oh, okay.
Kyle could win with against her as
Mhm.
like he has the advantage of like he can like at worst they have the same game and then he can tie break, be like I did it while in the majority alliance and performing well in challenges and like getting myself like I actually had to fool people to let me into their alliance, whereas
Mm.
Camilla, there's no fooling to say that you're on the outs because you actually are on the outs.
Yeah. Speaking of outs, though, she did not I know this episode, she did not look happy. Even if when she was in the part of the 6 or quote unquote 6, she did not seem happy. It was kind it was interesting to see Camilla looks so tired out. She was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm working with these people." And after the tribal, we see this moment of Mary and Eva talking together. And Eva basically says like, "We want to keep you and I want to keep you and if I just say it's you, it's really to like, put it away and it's not you. It's not going to be you." Um and and then Mary comes up and asks like, "Will you use your idol on me?" Which I thought was a super bold question to be asking. And Eva was straight up like, "No, no, I will not be using my idol on you." Isn't that interesting? I thought that
Which
was
is
such a
fair.
bold question. It is fair. Like if I was Eva, that makes sense. I'm just like, Mary, that's a shockingly straight up question. I respect your straight up answer or question, but I'm also like, whoa, that's an awkward question to be
Yeah,
asking.
yeah, it's weird. Like you're trying everything if you're Mary, and technically, if someone like there's a non-zero chance that Eva's pulling you aside to like build up, like maybe she's planning an uprising of her own, and she's gonna do it from the inside, and she wants you to be her number two, uh, like partner in crime here. That could have been it, and if that's the case, then there's a chance she would share the idol. I mean, I didn't from what we saw, I wasn't getting that vibe, so you're right, like, that question kinda came out of nowhere. Uh, maybe Mary could have played it off as, like, joking, but that's not how she said it, but, like, that would have been an option, be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, and you use your eye for me, right? Wink," like and then she's like, "Nah," like, "Yeah, I know."
It
But
was
also
kind of awkward.
also, there is a chance someone would slip up, like, hesitate and be like, "Yeah, of course," like, and it would be a lie from Eva, but now Mary can use that lie and either spread rumors that she's gonna do that or try to guilt her into doing it later. Like, there's some stuff you can do if someone, because the right move when you have all the power here is of like be straight up like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Uh, but some people would accidentally like make a false promise, so worth a shot.
That's fair. I guess, like I guess I'll see how Mary is. Do you think Mary will make it far? Do you think she
I
could pull up something next episode?
I don't think, like, she has nothing. There's no like, at best, she the only hope is that the people with power want somebody else, but if that's the case, it will not be because of what she's done. It's I don't like, I think she has to just hope that either she wins immunity or she just simply isn't the number 1 target until there are 5 people left. Um, there's a non-zero chance it could happen, so I'm going for odd numbers because with odd numbers, there's a chance it's, like, even number, like, 3 versus 3, and then you're in the middle. Like, there's a chance that could happen. Uh, but I don't see it happening next week, so I think if she survives until 5, then she likely will look like someone who doesn't have a resume, so she still won't be the threat, and then if she participates in getting out whoever is the biggest threat, she can try to get herself to the end. But more likely than that is just she is the next target, and it's not looking good for her.
Ugh. I had so much hope too in the beginning for Mary. Honestly, when Mary and David had this thing, I was like, "Oh, okay." I could kinda see it, and then it just kind of
Hey, you know who she wishes she had? I bet she wished she had Say, because Say would not be scared to be part of the revolution.
You know what? You're right. You're very much right. Say would've ride till dawn. Say would've ride till dawn, and I hate to say it, haha, get it? I hate to say it, but her chaotic energy would have gone crazy with the strong tribe, with the strong guys. I think they would be so like, "What the F is happening right now?" And but the thing is though, I feel like although Say could cause havoc, they would still lack the unity. No one's gonna wanna work with one another. No, like, Mitch already didn't wanna work with Say then. Like, do you think it's gonna change anything now? Like, I and then Camilla's not even part of it. I don't even wanna count Camilla as part of like, Camilla's this, like, odd, like, middle ground person. So, right now, there's Mary, there's Mitch. There is Kamilla in this, like, off thing. But then there is Kyle and Shauhin, who I can see, like, flipping around if they wanna make moves. I feel like at this point, people wanna make moves, and it's time to make moves, but it's like, it would be scary to make a move only for you to be voted out next because you got out your most best ally only for you to get kicked
Yeah, I
out
gotta say
next.
it doesn't seem to me like people wanna make, well, I guess you have to define making moves, but from what I could see, the people who actually have social capital to make things happen are content with the quote unquote obvious pick. So just someone who is not in my alliance until I guess until it's only us 4 left, and then who knows? So I don't know, because even as says Mitch, well, I guess it ultimately came down to Mitch because without him, there's no point in the other 3 trying anything. But the fact remains, nothing was tried. Not even shot in the dark. Again, it is pretty baffling.
But I could also see so again, I could see her point of shot in the dark not using it because what is the point? I lose my vote and I'm not safe, but, 1/6 chance. Again, 25%,
But
Jeff,
there's
25%.
nothing to gauge, like, the reason to not use a shot in the dark is my vote is gonna be crucial for whatever's
Mhm.
gonna happen. But she thinks either everybody's voting for me or everybody's voting for her. And either way, like, my vote is not helping that. So I might as well use it to actually, I guess the only other thing is to save it for later, but, I mean, you're gonna like, that you were told you're going home.
Ah, yeah. I know, again, Star, so memorable. So memorable, but, unfortunately, Star did not make it and was sent home today. but you will be missed. But again, 2 episodes again, I was like, is Star even playing? We missed her. She's not even there anymore, unfortunately. But she will be missed, and I feel like a lot of people would miss her because she's every time she was on screen, she was funny, she was awesome. I loved her. Although immunity challenges, she struggled a bit. And at the point of the immunity challenge, I thought she just straight up gave up. Like, she doesn't want to be like give up in front of Jeff. Like, I wouldn't give up in front of Jeff, but she also was like, what's the point? And you could just see her like having 2 blocks the entire time. There was
Yeah, like
never
it's
more
just
than 2 blocks on there.
that's part of why I'm wondering, like, was she just over this whole thing? Because that was the expression on her face. It was that she was over. It was over this challenge, over this game. Uh, but I mean, maybe that's just Star. It's possible. That challenge, that immunity challenge, is called a bit tipsy, as they're trying to prevent their
Oh.
tower to tip over.
Is it always called that when it's in other seasons, or this is like a specific one they did this time?
Uh, it is not always called that.
Oh, okay.
It
That's nice.
has been called "Got a Hunch," "Disky Business," "Another Brick in the Wall," and "Let There Be Rock," which is a crazy variety of names over
There is how
a
do
whole
people
lot of
make this?
seasons.
How do people do this? That's hilarious.
That's a good question, but roll.
That's so impressive. I wanna be on there. Hire me, please. I wanna be a star. Give me a say
Mhm.
on these title names. I could do it. But and then today we see the classic get rice. The rice, Jeff offering rice for 3 people? Was it 3 people to not take part of
Yep.
the immunity challenge? And I don't recall him asking the play of the game anymore last season, but he did ask, like, Shauhin and being like, "What does it tell you how the game has been played?" Like, in the beginning, people would be willing to do it, and then in the last several seasons, people don't, and we saw the last season, they gave up their shot in the dark for it. And then Shauhin's like, "When you throw out little twists and turns, like we do it too, it's kind of it's interesting that nobody gave it up this time. Is this the first time that nobody gave it up?
Well, like you
And
said, last season,
besides the shot in the
because
dark one, yeah.
instead they gave up the shot in the dark instead of sitting out. Um, I believe this is the first time, like, straight up nobody, or at the very least, where no one even offered.
Yeah. No one like, I remember they were so desperate for rice, the moment he cuts into the rice and then it starts pouring, everyone's like, "I'll leave, I'll leave, I'll sit out right now." And, like, it
Yeah.
was a big argument about, like, food and fuel and stuff like that, but this time, are they not hungry enough?
So that's what Jeff's saying. That's why
Too
Jeff
much
wants to
rewards?
keep them starving.
Yes. Gotta do less, food rewards. That's what you gotta do, Jeff. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I sound evil.
Uh, so now that we're real close. We got 7 people left. We're deep in the merge now. I mean, this is always gonna happen where a, like, majority alliance is winning out, like, they're getting their way. It it does feel as a TV experience that uh we're running out of steam here. Like, my momentum of, like, being excited for what's gonna happen next has waned.
Ooh. So, like, a mini off the island talk. If you're watching at home, we're watching it together, are you saying you're bored?
Never bored, love Survivor. But like any good TV show, you want the hook for next time. Even
Mhm.
without the literal next time on Survivor. I don't have that compelling, like, I don't like, people say, "I can't wait to see blah blah blah." I can wait. I'll see it when I see it.
I see. So do you think too predictable now. Like, you think the rest of the several episodes is gonna be quite predictable. This is why it's not really as exciting. It's like, it's okay.
That's definitely part of it. I'm trying to think if that's the only aspect. I don't think it's because it's predictable. I can tell you that I've guessed 0 people correct voting out all season long. The
0?
worst the worst performance, I've yet to get one. Uh, actually, no, wait, that in the episode no, I'm sorry, the episode where 2 people went home, I got one.
Oh, Cedric and Say.
But I haven't gotten one in, like, a true that's kind of a cheap one there because I had 2 chances. Um, so it's not quite that, like, "Oh, I know who's going next." I think it's because the way that the post-merge has been set up, it's and look, this is unique, like, it's not usually like this. It's set up where there's one alliance, there's one majority alliance, and then everybody else is not connected at all. Like, they may
Yeah.
sometimes are with each other, sometimes not, and so it's usually, it's group versus group, and it's whichever group you're rooting for. A lot of people root for the underdog alliances typically because everyone likes underdogs, and we see who wins out. But this is they have no competition. The drama is, can the group stick together? And we've had both. We've had episodes where they do. We've had last week where they didn't. This week they did. And I haven't found that compelling. Like, it's not like uh I'm so excited to find out, can they do it? Can they stick together? I don't know. It just doesn't. It's just I'm not hooked.
Mm. Outside of winner pick, do you find yourself cheering for a specific player, or you find yourself like, "Meh, I'm not cheering for anybody."
Well, I rooted for Star for a while. Then
Oh, yeah, our
uh
star.
and then and then I rooted for Kyle and Kamilla for a long time too. But like that, but we haven't really gotten that storyline either. Like, for a while, the
Mhm.
storyline was like more like these spies, these double agents, Kyle and Camilla. How are they gonna like keep under the radar and bide their time until they strike? But right now, we're not really getting us. We don't know if they're ever gonna strike. We're not sure if that's even part of the plan anymore. Kyle himself seems to be wavering on like, do I even need to stick? Like, and like, he doesn't need to be with Camilla at all if he doesn't want to. He can just wait it out until there's the point where he cannot legitimately can't save her, and at that point, he'll just let her go. So I don't think so. I don't there's no one where, like, like, super rooting for them. But, I mean, it really only takes one episode to draw me in. Like, if someone could have, like, a amazing episode and suddenly, like, "Oh, they deserve to win. I'm gonna root for them."
Mm. when as we're watching, that I'm rooting for Joe. He's such a sweet guy. He's such an awesome guy. I love the slow-mo of the fly getting at him before he won the immunity challenge today, and I love when he kissed the blocks every single
Yeah.
time he placed them and talking to them. It was like, I feel like as a viewer, this is a lot of edits makes it exciting, but I'm sure, like, filming it this is probably, like, I don't know, like 30 minutes of footage or 45 minutes to an hour of footage of them just, like, looking at the rope, slowly walking, slowly going back. So I would like to applaud, like, the editors make it exciting to watch. Make a I don't want to say it, but quote unquote kind of boring immunity challenge exciting. And one of the edits was the fact that Joe, like, blowing at the fly or kissing the blocks, and then seeing Kyle shimmying super fast towards it compared to Shauhin's slow-mo walk. It's so funny.
Yeah, Joe is is finally getting me to buy into like winner prospects because I really wasn't taking him seriously. But the way, and maybe this is a good time to maybe we tier list the remaining 7. So like basically like yay or nay of like winner prospects. So
Mhm.
Like Joe,
Yay, for
like
sure.
not only is he doing like he's doing well, he's part of the majority alliance, kind of the leader of that majority alliance, and like does seem to the perception he's calling shots, which means if he's at the end, people aren't going to be like, oh, he's just like dumb meat boy got to the end with physical challenge. Like he made strategic decisions too as the leader of his alliance. That's pretty good. And if he truly as long as nothing else goes wrong, because like he may have lost David's vote. David might not vote for him, but
Mhm.
everybody else, as long as like Joe isn't the reason they go out, they're probably gonna vote for him too. So it's looking surprisingly good for Joe.
Yeah,
Um,
especially, like, when they talk about what they do next, they all go back to talking to Joe, and the moment when Joe is like, "No," or "Yes," or whatever, they follow it. There's no, like there's nothing it's a lot of Joe calling the shots, and if they wanna change something, it's always going to Joe. So, yeah, you're right, though. Joe is very, very, much of a leader of his pack as well as a strong competitor physically, too. Um, I worry because of that, later on, it's gonna be like, "Why would I wanna be against Joe as final 3? I'm gonna lose." So, taking
but
him
what?
out
But the good thing is, once it gets to like if he can get that far, like he can easily just win himself it. I mean, if he just wins the challenges, which could, in theory, gets easier the less people there are around you.
that's true.
Like usually if a challenge beast makes it really deep, although it's scary that they're gonna win, often like they're not the type of player that's had a lot of agency. They have not been a strategic player. So even though they could win their way into the final 3, I'm not worried about them actually beating me at the final 3. But Joe actually could. So he's looking real strong. And with us close with Eva at his side, there's a scenario where during a tribal where Joe is vulnerable, Eva could save him with her own idol if she
Yeah.
so wishes.
She can. It would be a big play. Okay, so we talk about Kamilla and Kyle being on the final 3, and everyone's gonna vote for Kyle, most likely. What about Eva and Joe? This is a duo, this father-daughter love relationship type of thing that everybody loves, you know? Do you think it's kinda the similar that Joe would overshadow Eva if they are final 2?
I don't think he would overshadow her. Right now, on what's happened so far, I suspect people would vote for Joe, but it's much more hanging in the balance. Like as with the perception as the leader, if things don't go well for this group and like there's like a betrayal or something happens, Joe's gonna get blamed before Eva's blamed. And if that happens, then like it can go Eva's way.
I see.
I do like the theory of them facing each other in fire making though. That does seem like
Wouldn't that be
fate would
so
lead them
cool?
that way.
I think if it was, like, Final 4, like, crazy, it would be, like I don't know, it would be, like, Kyle, Kamilla, because some way they were able to take out Shauhin. Not that I want to. I think Shauhin winning is amazing because Shauhin is just so awesome, it's so funny. But, like, let's say Kyle takes Kamilla to final 3, and it ends up being Eva and, Joe. It's gonna be such an emotional moment. I really think that would be so, so emotional as a viewer to watch that. Um, but I could totally see Joe winning it and Eva being so happy for him, and it would be sweet. It would be sweet.
Now, and also in the group of potential winners is Shaheen. I like that like, I think his best chance is, like, he will not be the first target, so if things go wrong for this group, I think Shauhin makes it through the, like, fire and ashes, he'll survive. He'll be left standing, and then if he goes with Mary and Mitch, he'll just easily win, like, in that potential scenario. But if he goes with Joe or even Eva, he has not set himself up yet to win against those, I don't think, those people. But I think he has set himself up well to make it in general.
Yeah. Now, if you were Shauhin, would you wanna play, like, a little bit dangerous and try to make moves, or would you stay with how the course it is at the 6 and then the 4 and keep at course?
I think you would I think you wait till 5. 5 feels like a good time where you can figure out if it's best to flip or not. Like,
Mhm.
there's, like, a plausible scenario where you have 2 people who are on the outs and then 3 of the 4 majority left, and one of them will decide, "Well, I probably won't win against these other 2 people, so I'll join the people on the outs," and then 3 versus 2. Feels like a reasonable time to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now may be too soon, um, or maybe it'll, take us by surprise, but I'm starting to feel like there might not be. I feel like the next 2 episodes, we kinda know what's gonna happen, I think. Maybe not. Maybe next episode, I'm like, "Guys, I'm in tears. Joe's gone. I'm over this season."
It's possible. Like, right now, there are 4 people in an alliance and then 3 other people, so it only takes one of them to flip, but the problem is the same as it was this episode of I have no faith in those 3 people actually getting together to vote on their own, so I don't see it happening.
I know, but if I think it would happen if it's, like, a strong, like if it was, like, Shauhin and Kyle and Kamilla, all 3 of them, and then pulling up Mary and who is it? Mitch. Because those 3 can make a thing, take out Joe and Eva, and then take out Mitch and Mary, and then they have their 3. Easy. That would be I don't know, that could be a potential discussion.
It's plausible. They just look so cozy doing what they're doing. Like,
I know, I
I don't
know.
sense them
Feeling
being
safe.
antsy to mess that up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got Kyle. Kyle, I think I would vote against him as
Against
a potential winner. It feels like there's a lot of things to go wrong. Like, he in the scenario where he makes it to the end, it feels like that path involves angering almost everybody in all the different permutations where
Oh,
he
I
could
see what
make
you're
it.
saying, yeah.
And,
I keep forgetting that about juries.
or he might not even make it at all if his ally Camilla decides it's better for her to get him out, so there's that danger too. He himself is a challenge threat, so he just comes up as a blindside target anyway. There's a lot of bad endings for Kyle.
That's the
So
hard part being a
many.
spy, man.
Yeah, sure. If I like this is why sometimes a spy defects and joins the people he was spying on. That might be Kyle's best move, the like his best chance. So I've I think it is more likely than not that Kyle will not win Survivor 48.
Yeah, I kind of I see your point. I see your point. I feel like if Kyle makes the top 3, I feel like it will work out, but you're right. I sometimes forget about the jury management. But speaking of jury, David, why is he mewing the entire time? I just wanna say, I see you, David. looking great though, sir, respectfully. You look great. But, I think you're right. I also feel like the jury doesn't like anybody. I feel like in the everyone don't look happy. I mean, I'm sure no one's happy to be in the jury. No one's ever excited. But like there is no I feel like those people the 3 do not respect or like any of the people right now.
Yeah, there's a long way to go, so things could change, but this is gonna be tricky with so many people going with the honesty and loyalty. It will be very
Eh,
easy for that to get twisted against them.
yeah, it totally
But
would.
I mean, you could also just you don't need to win unanimously. You just need a majority to win the game. So you can let a couple people hate you as long as enough people still vote for you.
Yeah. They're gonna get Lillianed.
Yeah, it's very possible.
It's been said so much too, you know? The honest game, integrity, be
But let's
honest.
talk about but then you have Mitch and Mary. Like right, if the game ended right now, it doesn't matter if you're hated. If you go with those two people, you are very likely to win anyway. Like I don't think people's annoyance or anger at you is enough for them to believe that either Mary or Mitch are deserving currently.
Mhm.
And as a result, those two are are in the nay for sure. They have like they have like three chances to turn their whole games around, and we'll see if they
Yeah.
can do it. But I mean, this would have all these past episodes were opportunities to start working towards that, and they didn't do it. So I don't even know if it's feasible, but we'll see. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm just sad, I kinda wish, Mitch did more too. I felt like there wasn't a whole lot this episode from Mitch, and, I don't know, I wish more moves were made. I also feel like there's just a lack of everything being made. Lack of, idols being used, advantages. I think I said that last episode too, but I feel the same way. I just feel like there's not a lot being used, and, as I
But
s I
who? But
mean,
but who has? I mean, isn't it only Eva who has anything right now?
yes, you're right. I think you're right. I think Eva
It's,
has
and
both.
it turns out that she doesn't need them yet.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Nobody's, like, looking me like, "Oh, doesn't she have a idol?" And it just breaks my heart that Eva and Star never build a bond after Star giving Eva the idol her idol. Like, no bonds were made from this. And I thought from if Star built a bond from giving her idol with Eva and, like, was pulled into this group, that makes sense, it's good. But she was ostracized, like, there was no building, no bond, there's no thank you for the idol, there's no appreciation for the idol, and, it kinda hurts me a little bit. There's that moment of, like, sweetness where Star, like, was like, "I have some people in my family," or, like, her I think she said, like, family have autism or something, and then Eva feels seen, and then she's understanding Eva more, but it's like, it kinda just brushed over, and we never hear about it again as this relationship fell so fast, or it was non-existent.
Let this be a lesson if you still need to hear it. Don't just hand over your idols and advantages to people. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
I know, 'cause in the end of the day, it didn't do anything. Like, if she had her idol tonight, she could use the idol, unless she didn't believe in the idol use, but, I
True.
mean,
Maybe which is possible. I mean, is you want to throw that in a conspiracy theory? I mean, she neither believes in shot in the dark nor idols,
nor idols, that's why she gave it
which is
to
which
Eva,
is
she's
why
like,
she was so
"Whatever."
happy to give it away. Yeah.
Well, the thing is
There.
that I think she, like, gave it to Eva thinking, like, all the pressure's away from her. Cause like, don't tell me that if Star had the idol, they wouldn't have voted her out the moment that day, that night, the next night, whatever. The next night they would vote her out just to get the idol out. But for Eva, I don't know, man. This is weird. Like, nobody is focusing on her at all. Nobody talks about her idol. Nobody talks about anything, even though her idol has been public knowledge since day one. I think the person that was on it was Charity, RIP Charity. But she's gone now. Not even a face to be seen. Couldn't even make it to the jury. But it's just kind of different. I don't
Yeah.
I feel it's unfair
Usually,
to Star.
so usually this is a bad sign to like usually we don't think you're a threat. We're not even gonna bother flushing your idol. Now, I still think in this case, she is still a threat to win. It's just that people are not willing to take the dangerous shot to try to get her out. And the longer things go, the more dangerous it is. It just snowballs. And at this point, I don't know if anyone's gonna vote for her. The only way is if like they think they can totally blindside her to not think it's coming. And I don't even know if you believe that. So who knows?
If they could pull it off, they could, because I do feel like Eva truly trusts like Kamilla, Kyle, Shauhin really well. Like she's like, I got good vibes. I feel really good, and they could take that down real fast. Like Eva truly feels good. That I think she feels so good. The next vote, she wouldn't think that they're gonna vote for her. So like if it was them, if I were them, I think that would be a good time to take Eva out. But again, I don't know. It's probably way easier to see it from the outside than it is when you're within, because you're just probably not trying to rock any boats, because you don't also want to be the person that's like, let's take this person out, because that's what Mary's essentially doing, and that put a target on her, because you're just all over the place. You can't be trusted. I can't work with you. Bye bye.
Yep, yeah. Which just leaves Kamilla. Kamilla, I do think we talked about her before. She definitely has a chance to win. It is a very specific scenario. I think it requires getting out Kyle, and she has to at least get partial credit for getting out Kyle as well. And probably like she can't be going against Joe. So I think it requires the right combination, but that's the story I would want her to use. A story of like I was with Kyle, number one the entire, not friends. You knew we were friends, but we were number ones. We were feeding each other information. He was my spy. I never voted wrong the entire game. Like go down that track is the path to success. Uh, but I mean, but it's a difficult path. But I think it's a very successful one if she can get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I think Camilla still has potential. It's just with the number of episodes we have, we're kind of numbered. So, but big things can happen, and I agree that she can do it if she's willing to take out Kyle, but I don't know if she is. Today she kind of showed me that she does see him as a true number one, and I don't know. I don't know if she would do it, but although I do think she would gain the respect from the juries, though. Like she herself would gain respect from the juries as someone as that has been the quote unquote underdog, has been kind of behind the shadows. Without Kyle, she would be well respected for that by the juries.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, so that's our final 7. I'm
Can't believe
I'm
it.
I I'm definitely curious. I'm definitely curious. I want to know what's gonna happen. I just don't. I'm just not. I'm not hooked. I'm not waiting on bated breath. But I will be tuning in next week.
Oh, for sure. And tune into the podcast, of course.
Indeed, always. Uh,
I know.
yeah. But that's all I got. You got anything else you want to bring up?
No, I just gotta go back to David mewing. That was just it got me. It kind
We
of
did it.
he was glistening too, it kinda reminded me of Soul came back, but
I was about
no
to
one can
ask,
do it as good as
Soul,
Soul, man.
Soul. You stand Soul or you stand David?
Oh, Soul for sure. Are you kidding me? Will, you don't know me if you think I would have said David. Sorry, David. But Soul has my heart. Like literally has my heart. Actually, the entire season, last season, has my heart. I, minus Rome. But I really enjoyed the people of last season a lot more than this season personally. What about you? Like so far, like if you had to compare like last season to this season, do you have like a preference kind of so far? At this time of where we were at last season. I mean, we had Operation Italy during this time.
Yeah. We were definitely like revved up at this point. Like it was also it was hard. I remember it being hard to follow. Like it was the previous season there were no majority alliances. Like it all got mixed up. It was a bunch of like smaller groups and it was hard to see. The thing I didn't like about last season, it did feel hard to put myself in their shoes to strategize because seemingly every single week, like something would be flipped on its head, and now it's like, oh well, I guess things are going
That's
this
true.
way. Whereas
That's true.
this is very easy to follow. It's just most people are playing it safe, and it makes it pretty black and white on what people are doing. Like I don't necessarily even disagree with everyone, only some people.
Mhm.
Uh, but like I said, it's more than it's not the predictability. I really think it's that we don't have a uh like me versus them going on. It's because it's this weird one group and then everybody else, and the story is will that one group stay together. This episode we also had like will the outside people uh join forces, but I had no expectation for them to ever do that, so I wasn't really. Maybe this time around they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, last season right now I was more excited. But it only takes one. It takes one shocking episode to change everything. So we'll see if that episode is the next episode.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So then that's it, everyone, for this episode of Island Life. Thanks for tuning in. And get ready for the home stretch, final 7, final 6, and then finale. Or unless they do the fancy two-part finale again, we'll see. But until we speak again, everyone, ciao.